Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The GOAT, where we talk about things that are required to be GOAT-like, to be great at something, to be the greatest of all time at anything. We talk about parents, and we talk about business people, and we talk about Julie being a GOAT.
All GOAT all the time.
All GOAT all the time. Julie, welcome back home.
I know it's good to be back, but I also miss vacation. It was a great time, great weather. Come back, and I feel like I'm being smothered by the humidity, but it was pretty dry out there, which is good. But great food, people very friendly.
What? Not Flagstaff, right?
We stayed in Flagstaff. Broadcasted last week from Flagstaff in the largest contiguous ponderosa pine forest in North America. So, but yeah, I'm back, and I had a little technical difficulty at my house, internet down. So I had to go to a undisclosed location to hook in tonight. So here we are.
Undisclosed. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom's house.
Oh, all right. I thought you were talking like the seedy district or something. You know,
No,
red light district.
No, wouldn't quite go there.
All right. So last week we had Karen Huey on the show, who she is such a wealth of knowledge, isn't she?
She is. It was a good interview. A lot of important stuff that they're teaching young people, I think.
You know what? When you put it all together, what it takes to get a scholarship, what it takes to be an athlete in today's age, there's so much difference. If back in my day, if you were a good athlete, you would go get a scholarship, it was end of story. But now they look at your Facebook and they look at all your social media and they dig into your history, and it's like, really, you are on the spotlight a lot of the time.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine having to brand yourself already in high school in order to get
younger. Yeah.
Yeah, really. You have to start thinking about it pretty early. It just seems crazy.
They look at all the way back on your Facebook. It's like if a college is looking at you, they're going to do their homework because that's a big investment. You know, giving a scholarship away is a big deal for a college.
Right.
So, but tonight, I'm so excited. One of my favorite people in the whole wide world is going to be joining us tonight. I met him, 4 or 5 years ago, and just had changed my life at the time in so many ways. Jake Owens is someone that I learned so much from, as far as a kid that came in and wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and then he just made some decisions, and it's going to be such a good interview talking to him. I'm so excited. So
you say he's a GOAT?
He is a GOAT of all GOATs. I mean,
GOAT deluxe.
He's one of my favorite people to work with, and I've worked with a lot of really good athletes, and he is one of my favorites. So let's bring him on.
All right, here he comes. There he is.
Hello.
Hi.
And
what an intro that was. Wow.
And he's got a beard and a mustache now, which is so cool.
Not a kid anymore.
State, man.
I remember working with you, Jake, and it's like you were so young and so hungry and so small. You were small when we started working out, and then you just started getting bigger as we worked through that. And it's like, now I look at you and you're like, you're a big old adult.
I know. Probably when I met you, I was probably about 175, 80 pounds, and now I'm 210. So we have grown up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Definite little growth there.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, but to be expected.
So, Jake, I got so honored. I've been honored to be part of your journey for a little bit, but I want to talk and let everybody know and have you tell your story about baseball. Yeah. Because it's quite an interesting story. It's like, let's start with becoming interested in it. How old were you?
Probably 6 or 7 years old. I can't put an exact date to it. I was one of those kids that played every sport growing up. I didn't like football so much. I didn't really like getting hit. Basketball, I was always, I was athletic, but I didn't think I would be able to do anything with basketball. So I found that I was pretty decent at baseball. I didn't specialize until high school, I believe. Yeah, I didn't specialize till high school. But yeah, I was probably 6 or 7 years old when I picked it up. I didn't fall in love with it right away. I wouldn't even say I was falling in love with it in high school. It was just something that I happened to be good at. So that's kind of where it all started.
When did you fall in love with it?
Really, it wasn't until my college years and when I started working with Jeff. You know, it was really like a decision point of this is what I want to do. And that kind of evolved into what it became and kind of where I am now.
So tell me, why did you come in at first? You were a great player, confident. Why did you come in to see me at first?
Well, I wouldn't say I was as confident as I kind of developed into. I had a lot of things in my recruiting in high school happen where I was committed to 2 Power 5 big Division I schools, and that didn't work out. And I ended up going to a junior college, which that was like a huge decision for me because I'd always looked down on junior colleges and like the lower levels because I was always that kid that was pretty good in high school, so I always got the big looks. And that was where I thought I deserved to play. And so taking a step down from that, which I learned it wasn't really a step down, kind of hit me in the face. And so I was like, hey, we got to find a way to outwork these other kids more than just what you see on the field, more than what you just see in the weight room. You know, it's between the ears. And so I had a family friend reach out to my dad, and we learned about you. And that's kind of where it all started. So
you came in and you knew it was to be great at the craft. You had to get straight in the head. You had to do different things. What did you do? You turned it around like light switch.
Yeah.
At some point, it was all of a sudden, holy crap, he's all in.
Yeah. I vividly remember having a conversation with my mother the summer going into college, which I just committed to a junior college and given up on the D1 dream. I vividly remember having a conversation with her, and I was just like, I want to play baseball, but I am so afraid to go all in because I was so afraid to fail. And I was genuinely scared of going to the junior college and then not being able to turn around and go to Division I and feeling like a failure and feeling like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And in high school, like I didn't really work that hard. I was just the athletic kid that pulled up and put cleats on. And that after I started working with you, it completely flipped on a switch like that, which we can get into it, but it was vastly different.
I would like to know.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because I was like, you came in and it was like, okay, I'm serious. I need to control my mind. You started doing the relaxation, the visual imagery. You started diving in and you kept doing it because most of my athletes quit.
Yeah.
And that's what really was so exciting about you is you kept doing it and you kept doing it and you kept doing it and you kept getting better at the relaxation, the visual imagery, all the mind components. You were carrying yourself like a professional athlete. It's
trying to at least.
You were walking the walk. I saw it. It was definitely you believed 100% in you. And so what I'm really excited to hear is after you left JUCO, and we didn't really hook up much after that, what happened? How did you, what happened to the journey?
So the original coach that recruited me to Wichita State, I was on a pretty good amount of money there. And in college baseball, they only did 11.7 scholarships. So for a guy to be on a pretty good sum of money, you've got to be able to come in and produce. And So that coach got fired, and then another guy comes in, and I wasn't his guy, which happens a lot, and not just baseball, but in football and basketball. And that's the
Right.
name of the game. Like, it's a business.
It's business.
Yep. So I was there for 6 weeks, and I was actually really, really proud of the way I handled myself. So actually, my second week there, I was cutting a lemon to put in my water, and I accidentally cut my finger, and so I had like 4 or 5 stitches in my hand, and I continued to play through it. And then I also pulled my quad, and I continued to play through it. And it was one of those things where it was like, you are not, or I'm not going to give you a reason to cut me.
Right.
And so every day that I came in, like it didn't matter how bad like my quad hurt, or like how I would have to swing a bat with 9 fingers. Like, it didn't matter, because I was not going to give him a reason to cut me. But at the end of the day, that's what happened. And I know we talked about this before the show, but it was very freeing for me, because in a lot of those moments, I feel like a lot of people are just like completely devastated. It's like their dreams crashing before their eyes. But for me, like, I was able to look myself in the mirror and was like, dude, you literally did everything possible, and it just didn't work out. It was honestly one of the most freeing moments of my life, and life-changing moments that I've had. So after that, I transferred to the University of Tampa, which any baseball people, they know that the University of Tampa has won like 6 or 7 national championships, probably the most winningest program in Division II history. They get about 15, 16 Division I transfers every single year. We actually had a guy that was in professional baseball with the Reds, but he was Puerto Rican, so he could go back to school, and he didn't even play there. So that tells you the type of talent that they have.
Wow.
So I got down there, didn't succeed like I thought I would, and didn't get the playing time like I thought I would. But again, it was so freeing, and I didn't really care, because like I did everything possible. That before I transferred in that winter, I was in Seattle training at Drive-In Baseball, and I was literally hitting at when the ball was dropping on New Year's, which was, again, one of like the biggest moments of my life, because I was still like, I want to play baseball, like this is what I want to do, and while everybody else is out partying, like I'm in a cage hitting.
Right.
So,
that was the mentality that you brought to the table.
Right. Were you still using all of the mental techniques and everything that you had been using prior to?
Yeah. And actually in junior college, me and Jeff really talked about being in the big moment and being able to calm yourself down. And so it was almost like deja vu. We were playing my freshman year, we were playing in our conference tournament, which in junior college, your conference tournament is like the biggest thing to go to the World Series, or it's a step before you go to the World Series. So it was a huge elimination game. And I actually came to bat with the game on the line and 2 outs, and it was almost like deja vu, because I lived in that moment before, because me and Jeff had worked on it. And I was walking up to the plate literally like laughing and smiling, like, holy cow, like this is what we've been working for, and now it's like actually here. And it's fun. Well, I got on base. I didn't strike out. I didn't drive in the run, but I got on base, and the next guy behind me actually got out. But in the grand scheme of things, like, does that really matter? Like, if you really succeeded or failed, it was like I wanted that moment. Which last night I actually had a game for the team I was coaching, and we had a big moment like that. And I had this conversation with one of my players. I was like, it doesn't matter, like, in the big moment, if you succeed or fail. You have to want that moment, and that's the only thing that matters.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So right now, after you went to Florida, then you came back to Wichita. Is that right?
Nope. So after I went to the University of Tampa, we had our COVID season. So we got like 20 games in, and then everything got banged. So I had the opportunity to go back there. I also had some other schools calling. But just the way that I thought it was going to go the next year, I didn't even think we were going to be able to play. It was kind of one of those deciding moments, was like, do we really want to keep doing this? Especially after getting hit in the face with Wichita State, after getting hit in the face at Tampa and things not going the way I wanted. It was kind of like, you know, where do we
Exactly.
go from here? So,
And then COVID.
mhm.
What was COVID like for you? What did it do for you?
um,
Do you?
I think for a lot of people it was, and I think for me too, I think it was a great opportunity to just step back, especially those first 2 or 3 weeks we were in quarantine, to step back and say, like, you know, where the hell are we? And where do we want to go from here? And so I was still working out, I was still training, but I didn't really enjoy it, and I wasn't really still loving the grind. And so that was actually one of the biggest decisions, one of the biggest deciding factors in me hanging them up. So
Right.
What do
I
you
just,
think changed?
go ahead.
What changed in you about that?
I think it was a failing over and over again.
No,
And
it's not failing.
No,
well,
it
I
is.
think,
It
Well,
is.
yeah,
failing. Failing is when you just don't even try.
No,
yeah,
that's you're thinking literally, Julie, but
Yeah.
failing over and over again is how we get to be great. But we
Sure.
yeah.
also, it's how we decide if we really want to be great.
Hmm.
Because if you continue to fail, let's go, Jacob, let's go, me, let's go, and you keep failing over and over, what it takes to be at that level, wanting
Yeah,
to be great, is everything. It's such a
yeah,
commitment. It's you can't have a social life. You can't plan for your career. You can't. I mean, it's all consuming. So it's like if I had doubt, like if I was in Jake's spot and you got COVID and you got not knowing any certainty of what's going to go on with the seasons and you're getting cut here and you're not being able to do this, it's like, do I want to continue to put in 14 hours a day?
yeah.
Basically,
Do that. Well,
owning my craft, right?
did you feel good about the decision? Were you sad? What did you feel when you made that decision?
It was, like I said, it was freeing.
Just
Um,
freeing.
I
Freeing from what though? What were you being
it,
freed from?
I had put everything that I had into baseball, and there was no question about that. And anybody that had been around me in
Yeah,
college knows that. Um, and the end goal was to play in the MLB and be in the top 1% of people that have ever played in this game.
right.
And there's still no doubt in my mind that I could play professional baseball. Now, if I make it to the big leagues, I don't know. And I think even guys that are in professional baseball right now could tell you, I have no idea if I'll make it to the big leagues or not.
Right.
And the way that minor league life is not what it's made out to be.
It's
You
not
know,
good
it's
at all.
just like junior college. I mean, it's just an incredible grind. And as I got older, it was like, do we still want to do that?
Right.
So I enjoyed every second of playing baseball, and even more so, I enjoyed the training aspect of it. I enjoyed grinding. But as I got older, it was like, do we want to continue to do this?
Right.
And slowly, the answer became no. So that was one of the biggest decisions.
So do you have a new grind now?
I do. Right now, it seems like it changes every couple of days, but right now in this summer, I'm coaching 16 local high school guys. And one of the biggest things is throughout my career, and especially working with Jeff, I learned so many things about player development on the baseball side that now I can take it and coach, which when I was younger, I had always wanted to be a baseball coach. It wasn't necessarily wanting to play. I'd always wanted to be a coach and be able to be around
Wow.
people and stay in the game. So we kind of come full circle now. And actually, last week, which was one of the most rewarding things that I've heard in a while, even when I was playing, I had one of the guys tell me that he has learned more in 2 weeks with me than he has in his whole entire career. So,
Wow, that's
so
cool.
it's which that was so rewarding for me because what I'm doing this summer is for free, and I've given them everything that I had. So I'm glad that that effort is transferring.
Dude, that is so cool. You're making
Yeah.
a difference in the sport. You know, Kobe Bryant said, he said, it was great playing and becoming great and doing all that, but I really didn't grow until I became an educator of how to help
Yep.
people become great.
Yep.
And it's like, that's what is so valuable. That's one of the reasons why a lot of us become good and work
Mm-hmm.
so hard. We don't know this, but we want to be able to pass that on to other people.
Yep.
Sure.
100%.
You know, you, like I said, Jake, you were one of the hardest working kids that I've ever came across. It's like, and your attitude change and just the way you looked at things after that day was totally amazing to me. I mean, I truly, and you're like one of the fastest human beings on earth, right?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I know Usain Bolt, but I can move a little bit.
Julie, if you can, pull up the stats.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
I know. I just want to throw out.
There we are.
So we've got a on base. Well, 320 average is great in itself, but on base percentage of 418. That's unheard of in baseball. Unheard of. 42 stolen bases. That's crazy, dude. Most people don't get on that much in 2 years. And then 84 wins in 2 years. That, you had a great team, didn't you?
Yeah. We had a great team. And coming back from my sophomore year, after my freshman year, we kind of learned how to grind and learn about the college experience. And then coming back my sophomore year was kind of our team. And so I think we only lost 8 times my sophomore year. We lost 12 times my freshman year. And just like, it was vastly different having a leadership role on a team.
Right.
And it was nice to be able to coach up the young guys. And I have had some of the younger guys on that team text me and say, hey, like, I learned so much from you and stuff like that. And for me, that's more rewarding than actually doing anything as a player. So,
you know, I found that myself, is when I can help people reach their goals, that's more rewarding than me actually achieving my goals a lot of times.
Yeah, 100%.
That's become my goals, is helping people achieve their goals is my new goal. Mm-hmm. So that sounds like what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like like I said, I learned so much just diving down the rabbit hole of player development and just like, how can I get myself better? That at the end of it, it's like, wow, like I know a lot about this, and I feel like I can help people, and I can help high school guys, college guys, and hopefully one day professional guys.
Right.
So now we're on that journey. So
cool. So are you teaching all your players how to relax on command and visualize and all of that?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks in. So one of the biggest things I've been emphasizing is being able to compete. And can you come to the yard on a random Tuesday, play a random team? It's 95 degrees out, and can you still give it everything you have? Because when these guys get to college, they're going to find so many guys like that, and maybe undersized guys that just absolutely come in and grind every single day. And those are the guys that will be on the field and be in the lineup every single day. So the past 2 weeks, which is my first 2 weeks with them, has been probably the biggest thing we've been working on, like on the mental side. And then, like I said, getting into the big moment, just talking to the guys, like, it doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. It's if you want the moment, you've already succeeded. So.
And you know what? I think a lot of it is what you bring to the table as a coach, what your expectations are, what you believe in personally is what is going to be transferred to the kids.
Yep.
And your mindset is the mindset of a champion. You know what? It's like, however long it was, Jake, you have the mind of a champion. You have the mind of what it takes to be great at anything.
Right. Whatever you put your mind to.
100%. Right. Yeah. Which is one of the biggest like aspects of when I when I retired. It was like, I know how to grind. Like anything.
Exactly.
Which I think is a big thing for a lot of athletes. Maybe they don't realize it or not, but those
Right.
12, 14-hour days, especially going to junior college. We had some hellacious days in junior college.
Yeah.
And it's just, you learn how to grind, and it's bigger
Right.
than baseball. So
That's exactly right. It's
mhm.
and part of that is what's going to carry you into. Tell me about what your plans are, what your hopes and dreams are now.
Again, like, I feel like it changes every single day. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my degree next May.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Physical therapy school is still on the table, but I don't know what I want to do. I really enjoy developing baseball players. I really enjoy coaching. So I think I'm going to ride that out just on the side. And maybe it becomes a way that I monetize it and make a career out of it, but I don't know. And that's the beauty of it. So.
Right. You don't need to know what you want to do forever
No.
at this point. Just
Exactly.
got to pick a direction and go there, and then you'll figure it out.
Well,
As long as you, yeah, go ahead.
I think our society really pushes, especially 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Like, we got to know what we want to do in life.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Just taking life way too seriously.
Yeah.
And instead of being able to enjoy the process, being like, one day you will be a doctor, one day you will be a lawyer, and putting way too much pressure on kids. So I really take that to heart, and don't take life too seriously. And find what you love and find a way to monetize it. So,
exactly.
What do you do for fun? That might be fun, but what else do you do for fun?
Since I've hung up the cleats, I've actually picked up the golf club. So,
okay.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that I missed about baseball was the competition aspect of it. And anybody that golfs knows that it is so incredibly hard. So it's been a great outlet for me, especially missing the competition aspect of baseball. So that's probably the main thing I do for fun. And I still lift every day. I actually throw with my players, so I train like I'm still a baseball player. And it's actually super freeing for me because that's the part that I loved about baseball was the training aspect of it. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I've got a future goal for you too, Jake. I'm always thinking for you.
Let's hear it.
Oh, no. Hang on. What's it going to be? Oh, God. Is it PG or what?
Well, it could be.
Okay.
This one is, don't you think Jake would be really good at being a mental coach?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he knows the game. He knows what it takes. He's good at the physical side of it. But maybe it's like you work the mental, you get trained as a peak performance coach, and then you got that going with you in baseball, Jake.
Hey, I will never say no to any avenue. So,
Well, dude, that brings.
Maybe that's where I end up, but I have no idea.
You know what? I had so much fun with you. It was just a great ride going on that trip, you coming in and seeing where you were struggling, and just, it seemed like to me overnight, I'm a new guy. Whatever you say, Jeff, tell me. You want me to go out and run 500 miles today? I'll go do it. It's like, okay. It was so cool, though. I truly liked it. And that's kind of going to bring me to the GOAT tip of the week. And the GOAT tip comes from something that you said, a quote from you, my friend, that you got to beat on your craft daily is the only way you're going to have success in it. And, that's it. It's the grind. It's going out and doing it every single day, whether you want to or not, whether you're motivated to or not, whether you got to do it. And that's called putting in the work.
Commitment.
Exactly. If you put in the work, then you can walk out feeling great about yourself. You can feel confident in so many different situations. It's why Kobe was always there early and staying late. It's like, if you put in the work, your confidence goes up. And
Yeah,
that's what you
100%. Yeah.
believed. Yeah, that's what you brought to the table was that. And I'll tell any goats out there that you got to put the work in. You got to put the time in, the practice in, so that you can feel confident and great about you.
Yep. So one of my favorite quotes of all time, and I can't remember it exactly, but it's from Conor McGregor. And he talks about the reason why people have performance anxiety, and it's because they haven't put in the work.
Right.
And so that was like one of the biggest things reading that quote, and I would have to go back and look at it. But when I was in junior college, in my first semester in junior college, coming off of not going to a Division I school, which in my eyes was a huge failure, and I was really down on myself. And so one of the things that I did was I would wake up at 3:55 a.m. and go to the gym, and which it would mean that I would be in bed by like 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m., which for being your first semester in college, like people thought I was crazy. Like my teammates thought I was crazy.
Right.
But when we got to the spring and games, it was so freeing because I would show up to the field and be like, I outworked every single person here. And like, I have no doubt about whether I fail or succeed. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
There was zero performance anxiety, which before I definitely had some, just because I had a fear of failure, and that was completely gone. So,
you know, and that's the key too. It's like we have a fear of failure. Most people out there have a fear of failing, but failing is where we learn our biggest lessons.
Yeah.
It's like we fear the best part of the sport. Like you said, I failed so many times, it starts to beat us up if we fear failing. But if you start accepting failing, like, what did I learn? How am I going to use it? What am I going to do next time? It's like, then we use it and it doesn't beat us up, but it can get in our heads. It really can.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, especially as a high school kid, 16, 17 years old.
Oh,
it's almost detrimental.
yeah.
Even some of the kids that I'm working with now, I mean, you can see it, like they're scared to fail.
Yeah.
And that just it has so many roots expanding from that
it freezes us. We can't do anything because it's like we can't take chances. We can't go out for this. We can't do this because if I give my all, if I give everything, what if I'm still not good enough?
Right. Then what?
Then what?
Yeah. Yeah. And it does seem, I don't know, maybe you can speak to this, Jake. It seems like kids nowadays, and I hate to say that phrase, but that's the way it is. They seem like they are more, that really makes me old, but more risk adverse. They absolutely are petrified of failing, where we had that same kind of feeling growing up, but I don't think it was to the same level that I see nowadays in the young people. Do you see that too?
Yeah, I definitely do. And it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Like, we put so much pressure on 15, 16, 17-year-old kids to know what they want to do. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's the society we live in now. But the ones that are able to get through that still are the ones that are successful. So it is a big separator. So
they just need a mental coach. That's all.
They just need to go work with Jeff.
That's right. 1-800-TRIUMPH program.
1-800 call Triumph.
Actually, let's see here. Let me. Oh, there it is. Here, Triumph program.
Oh, all right.
I like it.
Look at that. Just pull that out.
Jake, I am so excited for your journey, and I am envious of the kids that get to work with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're pretty lucky.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You know what? If I would have had a coach that had your mental positiveness and everything that you bring to the table, your work ethic, it's like, who knows how good I would have been.
Yeah.
Hey, how do we follow you and your team? How would we, what are they called?
We're called Storm Club. For this summer, we play at Johnson County 3-2. which you can find our schedule on the website. We're in the works of getting some social media up right now, especially to show like the player development side of it, kind of what we do on a day-to-day basis. So that's in the works right now. But if you want to come catch a game, we play at Johnson County 3-2, and you can find the schedule on their website. So,
okay. What was the website again?
Say that one more time, sorry.
What was the website again?
It's Johnson County 3-2. I don't know what their exact name is, but
okay.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited for your journey from here on out. It only gets better from this point because you get to use the tools that you work so hard to develop.
Right.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Hey, I got it.
All thanks to you.
Well, thank you.
1-800-TRIUMPH.
1-800-TRIUMPH.
Hey, I got to ask one last thing. Do you have a girlfriend? Because
I do.
Okay, you do. All right. Well, congratulations. I'm sorry,
Julie,
lady.
you're married.
I wasn't. I'm too young for him.
I know. Yeah, I get it. I'm surprised that, you're going after such a old
It
guy.
wasn't for me.
Oh, I get
I have a daughter that's your age. That's who I was going after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the podcast is our new dating site. This is awesome.
There we go. Hey,
Yeah.
I like it.
I know who I'm having on next week. Well, Jake, thank you, my friend, and take care of you and be good to you. And thank everybody for tuning in and watching The Goat Show. And we will see you next week. I think I'm going to be doing a live show.
Oh, do you get to say who?
Well, I believe, with Tim Grunhard. He is a recent Chiefs Hall of Fame inductee. And I'm going to be chatting with him about his journey to goatdom and into the Hall of Fame.
You'll be on his show prior to our show, correct?
Right, I'm going to be on his radio show right prior to our goat show.
Okay, cool. Big day.
Big day. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again, Jake.
All right.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
See you all later, folks.
All right. Bye.